Forbidden Love. A Teso village story far across the peaceful plains of Tesoland, where the wind moves gently through tall grass and the drums of tradition guide the life of the people. There stood a quiet village filled with stories, hope, and deep cultural traditions. In this village lived a young man named Eugene Zub. Eugene was known by many people as a humble and hard-working young man. Every morning before the sun rose high in the sky, he worked in the fields with his father Gaspers, preparing the land and growing food for the family. His father was a strict man who believed strongly in the traditions of the Teso people. To him, respect for elders and family honor were the most important things in life. Eugene's mother, Marianne, was different. She was gentle, wise, and full of kindness. She believed that sometimes the heart sees things that traditions cannot always understand. But Eugene's life was about to change in a way no one expected. Not far from Eugene's home lived a young woman named Gloria. Gloria was the daughter of Simon, one of the most respected and wealthy men in the village. Her mother Emily had raised her to be respectful, strong, and graceful. Many young men admired Gloria because of her beauty and kindness. But her heart had not yet chosen anyone. That was until one evening that changed everything. It was during a great village celebration when people gathered together to dance, sing, and celebrate their culture. The air was filled with the sound of traditional drums, laughter, and joyful voices. Women wore beautiful, colorful wraps decorated with beads, while the men danced proudly to the rhythm of the drums. And in that moment, Eugene and Gloria saw each other for the first time. Across the dancing crowd, their eyes met. Something in that moment felt different, something powerful, something neither of them could explain. From that day, Eugene and Gloria began meeting quietly away from the village. They often met near an old tamarind tree by the river, where the wind was calm and the night sky stretched wide above them. There they talked about their dreams, their hopes, and the future they wished to build. Day after day, their friendship grew stronger, and before they even realized it, that friendship had slowly turned into love. But their love carried a secret. Their families were not meant to unite. Gloria's father Simon believed that marriage was not about love. To him, marriage was about honor, wealth, and alliances between families. Unknown to Gloria, Simon had already promised her hand in marriage to the son of a powerful man from another village. The day Simon discovered that Gloria had been secretly meeting Eugene, his anger shook the entire household. "You will never marry that boy," Simon declared. "My daughter will marry a man who brings honor to this family." Gloria's heart broke, but Eugene refused to give up. When Eugene told his parents about Gloria, his father Gaspers became worried. "My son," Gaspers warned, "love can bring joy, but it can also bring trouble when it stands against tradition." But Marianne, Jean's mother, looked into her son's eyes and saw something deeper. She saw the truth of his love. As the days passed, the pressure on Gloria grew stronger. Her father continued preparing for the arranged marriage. Villagers began whispering. Rumors spread across the village. Yet Eugene and Gloria continued meeting secretly beneath the tamarind tree. One quiet night under the moonlight, Gloria told Eugene the truth. "My father has already chosen the man I must marry." Eugene felt his heart sink. But then he looked at her and spoke with determination. "We cannot let others decide our future." After a long silence, Eugene made a bold decision. "We must leave the village." The idea frightened Gloria, but the thought of losing Eugene forever frightened her even more. So she agreed. But unknown to them, someone had seen their secret meeting and reported it to Simon. Soon the entire village knew about the forbidden love. The elders called Eugene before them to explain himself. Standing before the villagers, Eugene spoke bravely. "Yes, I love Gloria," he said, "and I will not deny it." Gloria also stepped forward and spoke the truth. "I love Eugene." The crowd gasped. Simon was furious. But the elders decided the matter needed time. Until then, Eugene and Gloria were ordered to stay apart. But that only made their love stronger. So the two lovers made their final plan. They would leave the village together. That night, under the quiet sky, Eugene packed his small belongings. Mary Ann quietly handed him food for the journey. "Be brave, my son," she whispered. Across the village, Gloria packed her own bag while her mother Emily watched silently. Before Gloria left, Emily hugged her and said softly, "Do not apologize for loving someone, but never forget where you're from." Later that night, Eugene and Gloria met once more beneath the tamarind tree. They held hands and began walking away from the village into the dark plains. But Simon had already discovered their plan. He gathered several villagers and followed them across the fields. By dawn, Eugene and Gloria reached the top of a small hill. Behind them, the villagers were catching up. Simon stood below the hill and called out to his daughter, "Gloria, come down." But Gloria stood beside Eugene and shook her head. "I cannot, Father." Eugene stepped forward and spoke respectfully. "I do not want to fight with you, sir. I only want to build a life with Gloria." For a long moment, Simon said nothing. The villagers waited in silence. Finally, Elder Okura spoke. "These two have walked through the night together. Perhaps what we are seeing is not rebellion, but true love." Simon looked at his daughter. Then he looked at Eugene. Slowly, the anger in his heart began to fade. He realized something he had refused to see. Love like this could not simply be forced apart. Finally, Simon sighed. "If you promise to honor my daughter and care for her, then I will no longer stand in your way." Eugene nodded firmly. "I promise." Gloria ran down the hill and hugged her father with tears in her eyes. A few weeks later, something beautiful happened in Tesso village. Under the warm sunlight, surrounded by villagers, elders, and family members, Eugene and Gloria were married. Women sang traditional songs. Drums echoed across the fields. Colorful fabrics decorated the celebration. Even Simon stood proudly among the guests. And as Eugene and Gloria stood together, holding hands as husband and wife, the entire village witnessed something powerful. Tradition had not been broken. Instead, it had grown stronger by learning to make room for love. And from that day forward, the story of Eugene and Gloria's forbidden love became one of the most remembered stories in Tesso Village. A story not just about love, but about courage, forgiveness, and the power of choosing the heart. Emotional final narration line. And so, dear listener, remember this. Sometimes the greatest battles in life are not fought with strength or anger, but with patience, courage, and love. Because when two hearts truly belong together, even the strongest traditions can learn to open their doors. And that is how the love of Eugene and Gloria turned a forbidden story into a beautiful beginning.